everyone for joining the session today. Big thanks to Question Pro for executing this great event today. It's an honor to be here to speak to you. I'm going to give you an introduction to who SAMRA is, the Southern African Marketing Research Association. If you do know SAMRA, I'll just give you a refresher. There's been some great, exciting changes that's happened and developed over the last 3 years. And then also touch on some business trends that research companies, research consultants can take advantage of to make the best of 2024. Okay, that's myself there. Just a little story about SAMRA. So I wasn't sure what I was going to become when I finished school. And I started doing some part-time work at some retail stores, and I soon discovered that I love engaging with customers, and I loved the whole process of customer decision-making process. So I started at a research firm, started from the bottom, and then I worked my way through. But what was pivotal in my career is that SAMRA was there from the start, so it gave me a footprint, it gave me guidance and a pillar to work towards as I grew in the industry. So SAMRA is almost like a parent that's there to help the industry, help researchers, help the youth get into the research. We help plant the seed within different students at university level, even at school level, which I'll share more with you in detail. Just some quick stats on SAMRA. So our main objective and purpose is to inform, develop, monitor, and grow the research industry and insights industry. So it's a non-profit organization. All the SAMRA board directors are voluntary join, and we have full-time work capacity as well as making time for the SAMRA duties as well. So it's a great passion of ours to be part of this industry and also to drive change within the industry as well. The main 3 objectives, as I mentioned, grow the data research and insights industry, enhance quality and professionalism, and also deliver stakeholder value. What's become a big change in SAMRA is that before SAMRA used to dictate what happens in the research industry, where we realized that SAMRA is about its members. It's about the industry. So we've learned to listen to members, and we now have an open door policy where we invite members to come in to share their thoughts. We've introduced newsletters, we've introduced platforms where members can share their thoughts, ideas, and we work together to try and grow and develop the industry. Currently, we've got about 104 organizational members, 1,600 of associate members, 145 independent members. I'll give you more detail about these membership options. We're also across the Southern African region, so we also have access in the rest of Africa, which is Kenya. We've got Botswana, Zimbabwe, Namibia, Nigeria, which is great. So that just shows the footprint that we can have across the entire African continent. We're also working in partnership with AMRA, which is the African Market Research Association, which is just in the process of being launched. So we also give our experience, guidance, and input as well. Introduction to the SAMRA board. So we've got 7 board directors at the moment, specializing in different research fields. We've got Arnold Samuels, we've got Dr. Alta, we've got Dr. Yakilis from the academia, we've got Noella Harris, which is currently at Kantar, and we've got Lebu, and then Grant Lintos, which manages the finance as well. SAMRA has been busy over the last 2 years. Some highlights. In May 2023, we attended the National Careers Week, which was sponsored by Services SETA. We've currently got 1 listing with the Services SETA, which is a SAMRA accredited interviewer qualification. Over the years, I'm sure all of you have experienced that there's been a few challenges in the field with interviewing cheating, also possibly due to the questionnaires that are too lengthy. But we've developed a qualification and some guidelines with the Services SETA and SACRA to give a official certification that will give the research houses confidence as well as the clients confidence in collecting data collection as well. So that was a great event. We went to the event where there was different schools. So we planted the seed within the different pupils, as well as going to different universities. So one of the to-do lists for 2024 is to partner with universities, and also just to give talks in terms of what we've experienced, give updates on what's happening in the research industry, and then also collaborate with people that are wanting to learn and develop in their research careers. August 2023, we celebrated 60 years of excellence in research. That was a great celebration. We also had the SAMRA AGM on the 30th of August, which we have on an annual basis. Also, some changes where we also felt that the old website was very old, very dated, which was also the perception of some of our members towards SAMRA. And a first step was to change the website, give it a fresher look and feel, make it more engaging, and also more open to new updates and changes. Looking forward to 2024, there's some exciting changes coming here where in February this year, end of February, we'll be launching the new SAMRA logo. So all of you here are privileged to see the new logo that's been approved. So you will see more of this communication happening. March 2022, we have a few virtual webinars that's been scheduled where we tackle different research challenges, different events. We also have a platform where we allow the SAMRA members to give us any topics or training that they'd like to have, so that we can then target the professionals and expertise to develop the different webinars there. Every March of the year, we have the SAMRA renewals, SAMRA membership renewals, and it gives me great pleasure to admit that we continue to grow as an organization. So there's been new members and we continuously growing. In April 2024, we planning to have similar events such as this with Question Pro, and also we'll work together with Question Pro also in terms of coordinating the different networking events. I think all of you will remember a few years ago where researchers came together, where you united and you shared different experiences, different challenges. We want to bring that back because COVID took that away, and there's a lot of people that want to reconnect with each other. Things have changed, and we want to try and bring back more engagement from the members as well. And one of the biggest things for this year is that we want to bring back the in-person SAMRA annual conference. So that's when we go to the different regions. So every year, one year will be Johannesburg, Cape Town, and Durban, and where we invite all the research houses, the clients, brands to come and stay. It's a 2-day conference where we have papers, research papers. We also have different events, fun events, and we give you some sponsoring great activities to learn and develop as well. So watch the space. We're planning it for May or June 2024, but we'll definitely keep you updated as well. So just looking at the memberships. So the 3 memberships, the organization memberships is for commercial non-profit organizations, including companies or other entities. Associate members is for people that work for research agencies, but the company is not a SAMRA member, but we still like to be part of still like to have SAMRA membership. Then we have independent members. That's for independent consultants that would like to that do work for different research agencies and brands and clients. So we have a package for that as well. And just to focus on the top 5 benefits. So once you're a member, you get these, which is ethics advice, legal advice, professional recognition, a global business research network. So we have very good relations with SMR. And we have a South African representative for SMR as well, which we also work quite closely with. So once you become a member, you can then reach out to SMR or work through SAMRA as well. And then also most important is to make sure that you adhere to the Code of Conduct Protection. So in the last 3 years, we've had 2 ethics cases. We had 1 legal case, and we've had 1 case where we had to protect the smaller research suppliers from clients or brands where payment was not received. So we assisted them in that process and made sure that they were eventually received payment. Okay, this is quite a busy slide. The emphasis of the slide is just to show you the value, the level of value you would receive from a SAMRA membership. So we even give this to non-members as well. So there is in terms of the protection of client payment and data collection payment. But there's a whole long list that you can view on our website in more detail. But just to capture what you can get as being a member. The professional recognitions, you're looking at, as I mentioned, the the SAMRA accredited interviewer qualification. So this is registered with the service at CETA. An interviewer has to have been in the field for 6 months to qualify to apply. That has just been approved. That was last year, November. So we are awaiting the first set of interviewers to come through for the training and the qualification. This is specific for quantitative interviewing at this stage. It's in person as well, and we're looking at doing the online CAPI as well. So that's also a great way where Question Pro and SAMRA can work together, where we can facilitate some online training, interviewing training as well. Then we've also got the SAMRA partner, which is currently we've got about 10 SAMRA partners. So any researcher who has been a SAMRA associate member or independent member for more than 1 year can apply. There's a criteria for that. We share that with you once you show your interest towards that partnership. Then I think the most popular one is the SAR, which is the SAMRA accredited marketing research. This is where you need to have 5 years of experience, and it's actually a it's a great achievement to have on your CV, so that when you do work with clients, even at your signature, you can put it on your email signature, and your client can have confidence in working with you. The honor roll is for all members who have reached the age of 60 years old and above. We then have the honor roll, where we currently have 10 members. So we always like to praise and remember where our roots come from. So we acknowledge all the efforts that are done in the research industry and give them this honorary role. So just a few learnings that I've realized and learned over the last year. COVID has left quite a few of us in quite a tricky situation where we find ourselves juggling the previous tasks that we used to do at the office, doing it at home, and now we are being brought back to the office again. So they refer to it as a new normal. Some offices bringing their employees back to work 3 days a week, 4 days a week. But ultimately, there's been need for change. And as Kendall has mentioned, companies are faced with how do we change, how do we embrace the new norm. A lot of senior management avoid those types of talks and would rather just continue and seeing how things will naturally turn out. But there is need for change management and also a need to listen to your employees as well. Hybrid work from home is part of an employment package globally, so that's something that we need to consider in South Africa as well. A lot of reduced research budgets. So a lot of research agencies have come to us and said, how can we tackle this change in research budgets? Where clients have confirmed a certain amount, and throughout the research process, budgets have been reduced. So it's had a big impact on the revenue generated from research agencies, and I'm sure a lot of clients as well. The sudden onset of smart AI tools also poses a threat to some of the research agencies, but I'll share with you good guidelines in terms of how we can overcome that threat and take advantage of it. The market research industry is not exempt from change, and SAMRA is also no stranger to change, and we're currently going through a change process. There are some days when it's tough, but what's great is that we've got a more useful SAMRA board, so we can get aspects from the experienced researchers, the newcomers, and also the millennials that have been pushing through the last 10 years here. Okay, some trends. In 2024, as a researcher, I did some research, and I found some interesting articles in terms on the Forbes.com website, which gave some top 6 business trends that the role of research will play, that we can take advantage of for business opportunities. The first one, looking at generative AI, I think everybody has noted that it's found its way in many businesses, many processes currently. There's also chat GPT, but our natural curiosity, has shown us that, it's reported that 87% of researchers feel strongly about their job security, whereas 56% say research efforts will lead to faster analysis and insights. I myself personally, in my current work role, have started using Question Probe for analyzing open-ended verbatim responses. And a task that used to take about 4 to 5 days to do can be done in about 3 to 4 hours. So that's an example of how generative AI can help. There's always still need for human involvement. You need to ensure, because there's some verbatims, especially in South Africa, there's some phrases that are said in South Africa which is relevant to the country, and that's where your research expertise and experience needs to come through and sift through the different verbatim responses and make sure that it all ties up. The second trend was the investment of soft skills and the human touch. With many operational functions being automated now, there's still a need for that personal touch, still a need for human soft skills. A good example is also where management are faced with the challenge of changing the way they manage people. There's a different, we have to manage inclusivity now. You've got to look at all the different personalities, not just manage operational. So you've got to upskill your management in terms of how to manage, how to improve their soft skill management and implementation. That also touches on the third point, which is your skills solution. So that's also where you need to, so we've picked up also that we did an employee climate survey where companies are reducing or even removing the need for a degree qualification for a role. They're more focusing on the actual people management aspect of it and can you actually do the job. So in general, these trends appear to highlight how researchers are naturally ready to integrate into the new revolution thinking. The fourth trend was the data economy. So yes, there's a whole lot of data happening now. There's also the POPI Act, which also gives a different challenge to the research industry. So we've got to make sure that we're upskilled in terms of how we manage the personal information from the respondents that we use for data collection. And it's very important that we need to have the correct tools and softwares to host the data. Also, another example of how Question Probe can make that process easier is where you have the panels that you can build in with your respondents, your customer details, and they can manage it and protect it as well. The fifth one was customer experience revolution, as Kendall mentioned. That's also a very important trend that's happening for brands. So it's all about the customer experience, not just about the purchase. So it starts right from the time I decide to buy a certain product to the time I research it online or in store. What triggers me to purchase in store, what triggers me to purchase online, and we've all been triggered by social media, invasive advertising based on how you use your smartphone in terms of searches and so on. So the brand needs to take into consideration the whole customer experience and make sure that there's also a great after-sales experience to support their purchase. The sixth one is resilience. So another trend flag is also to ensure that companies are aware and protected from whatever threat is around the corner. So cyber threats, cybersecurity threats, and also like the COVID pandemic, a sudden disruptive competitor. We've seen it in the transportation through Uber. We've seen it through Checkers, the delivery system, Checkers 6060. So brands need to be ready for those types of disruptors as well. And just in conclusion, I just want to leave with you 3 action points to explore and consider how you can stay relevant and embracement of the AI that's coming into our industry. So the first one is reshape your organizational structure to be AI fit. So your insights department will look much different moving forward. So instead of having 6 people there, you may only have 2 people in your research team because you can make use of ChatGPT and generative AI as well. Rethinking how you charge clients. So previously, as I mentioned, something that would take you 2 weeks to be done with ChatGPT or AI you'll be able to do it in about a few hours. So that would definitely reduce the costs. Either reduce the cost for your clients, or it will increase the cost because you are using specialized software, which is also to cover your subscription costs to the different AI platforms out there. The third one is embrace the opportunity of abundant knowledge. So artificial intelligence equals an abundance of insight. So it's our responsibility to make that move, to change, develop ourselves, to upskill ourselves in terms of how generative AI works. So don't run away from it, embrace it. And a market flooded with data will need human expertise to bring empathy and connection to insights. And just to show you how quickly this is working within the research industry, SMR launched the Artificial Intelligence Task Force Initiative last year, July. What this means is they've got a cross-functional group which is created to address issues surrounding the AI in the research, insights, and analytics sector worldwide. So SAMRA works together with SMR, and we try to apply all that SMR has done. So we learn it from SMR and we apply it in the South African research industry here. So the main purpose of this is just to educate, raise awareness, develop ethical guidelines, and to collaborate with different individuals. So SAMRA is there for you to reach out if you need any assistance in terms of training, development, protection, and also education in the research industry. Thank you so much for your time and your attention, and hope to hear from you guys on the SAMRA front. Thank you so much.